How did you use media technologies in the construction and research, planning and evaluation stages? Research and planning. I've used YouTube within my research as I watched existing horror trailers to see how the trailers are constructed. And I used this in the construction of my main product. I've also used YouTube to find tutorials on how to make text have a bloody look and the look of dripping blood. I've also used YouTube to find a tutorial on how to give a poster a cloudy look. This was important as I thought it gave it more of a horror look. I used a focus group to see if others thought the same things were effective within the trailers, posters and websites that I have analysed. I have used Photobooth to record my focus group as the Maxell camera is ready installed. I've used Prezi in my planning as I used it for my initial ideas and treatment. I did this because it offered me several different ways to present my work. It is also clear on how to use it and is easy to follow. I also did it because it is cloud-based and therefore I can access the Prezis from any computer or Mac at any time. It was better to use as it was animated and it makes the presentations look better. Construction. I've used Photoshop in the construction of my poster and website as it offered me better ways to edit my poster and website. Within Photoshop, I've used the Magic Wand tool to delete the background to the institutional logos, which made them blend in better with the poster, as they seem to be part of the poster. I've done this for the website as I've used it to delete the background on the cinema logos and the institution logos as well. I have also used the rectangle tool to make a banner behind the navigation bar. This was important to make the navigation bar stand out more. I then used a layer mask to erase 3 parts of the banner to make it look more like random drops. I did this because I wanted to look more like blood than a solid block of colour, and I think that erasing through has achieved parts of this look. I used thefont.com to download the font that I use for my text within my media package. I did this as it offered me more options of what font to use, and I could find a font that went well with my genre and the design of the ACE card, as this was important to me. I used a digital recording camera to film the clips as it had high quality recording. This is important because the quality was better than it could have been because I used a HD camera. I've used GarageBand to make my soundtrack as it allowed me to construct my soundtrack in an effective way to the tempo of the trailer, as the soundtrack is slow at the beginning during the equilibrium stage of the trailer and then gets faster at the end of the trailer when it is at the disruption stage. I also use GarageBand for the soundtrack as the music on GarageBand is copyright free. I've used Final Cut to construct my trailer. I have used the razor blade tool to edit down my clips to make it cut faster. I also used it to edit the clips to delete parts that I didn't want in the trailer. I also used fade in and fade out at the end of the trailer to fade the building block out, as it then feels like a gradual ending rather than it being sudden. I've exported the file into an MOV file so that I can upload it to YouTube and then embed it onto WordPress. I also used toggle clip overlays and the pen tool to edit the sound level to make it louder, like I did with the dialogue, and then make the soundtrack quieter whilst the dialogue is on so that you can hear it better. I have used the key points to make certain parts of the soundtrack quieter or louder, but it allows me to keep the rest of the sound at the same level. I have also used change speed to make the clip quicker to make it seem more disrupted, as they then appear to be running faster than they are. I've also used Photoshop to make the captions in my trailer. I did this as it offered me more options to the design of it, and I could use the font that I had used for the texts across the package, and this was important for me to have a consistent house style. This is software integration, as Final Cut is able to read Photoshop files even though it is different software. Evaluation. To make my evaluation, I used Final Cut and Prezi. I am going to do this as they are best for showing the examples that I am going to use, as Final Cut allows me to edit down certain clips and add examples in. It also allows me to reorder the clips by using the selection tool. I'm going to use Prezi as it allows me to show examples, and it is an effective way of showing analysis without having a video as the main response. I am going to use QuickTime to make screen recordings to show the examples for my Final Cut videos. This is better as it then means I have a mixture of still and moving images, which would make it easier for me to show how I made changes to my products.